the problem is when your mind is only believing what it wants to believe, then a lie becomes the truth in your mind. Your mindset can be captivated into believing whatever you want. You can sell your mind the most foolish things in life. But again, it's on you to believe it. Because it's not what you say, it's what you believe that ultimately make you say what you say. Did you hear that?
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. They call me Q the Boss. Yes. Yo, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I look forward to this every single week to drop episodes and talk about content. I really love you guys. You guys make my day. I appreciate the people that regularly tune in and support the content. But today we're talking about what is your mindset? What is your mindset? Listen, someone just wrote something, and I just want to get right into this real fast. Someone said, Q, how do you break an addiction? The person that actually wrote that, I need you to further elaborate on what kind of an addiction. A person could be addicted to sugar. A person could be addicted to candy. They could be addicted to drugs. They can be addicted to a relationship. They can be addicted to a lot of different things. So it's so vague. Smoking. Now let's have this conversation. I'm going to be honest. And a lot of people don't understand, in retrospect, you can inherit in your genes substance abuse. A lot of people don't understand that there's substance abuse can be passed on through your gene pool. And when you tell people that, I tell them to be very, very, very conscious. I'm going to tell you a story. One of my good friends, his mother was a crackhead, his grandfather was a crackhead, and his father was a crackhead. So he can be highly persuaded to do drugs because it's in his genes. So when I spoke to him, I said, you have to be very conscious that you have a substance abuse in your gene pool. But if you're not conscious of it, you're going to continue to make poor decisions and ultimately doing drugs. Me personally, I think that a person that do drugs need to seek help. Because a lot of people that do drugs, it becomes an addiction, but initially it could be a means of escape. And initially you started using it to escape. So therefore, it became your whole catalyst of you needing it to the point where your whole life revolves around you being under influence. But I always ask, how can one change their life under influence if they're not living in reality? If you don't live in reality, how can you change your reality is my question. So I definitely think a person that's doing drugs should definitely seek refuge or help because a lot of people use drugs as a means of escape. Your life may not be where you want. You're going through things, pressure, right? So you're doing a substance that's only putting a Band-Aid over a problem that actually needs more addressing. So now you put a Band-Aid on it, but in reality, it needs surgery. So you never really heal properly. You're only using the drug to mask the actual problem. So it's going to be a constant battle between you and yourself with the substance because this has become the totality of what you need to feel like you're escaping your reality. But let's get into this, guys. I want y'all to engage in this conversation today. Today, we're talking about what is your mindset. All right. Someone said, I was doing it because people around me were doing it. See, and let me ask you, so now that you were doing it, it maybe became an addiction. I think a lot of people that do drugs get introduced from doing drugs from someone else that do drugs. I never met someone that just woke up and said, yo, I want to go get a blunt and I'm going to just start smoking. I think someone introduced them and ultimately became an addiction. Because what happens is we start needing it or we start getting addicted to it or used to it, right? So here's the logic. A lot of times, we don't want to speak on the things that matter. And right now, one of the main dilemmas in the culture, in every culture right now, is the mentality and the mindset. Your mindset is what determines everything about you. The mindset will determine everything about you. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Your mindset is a reflection of how you think. So ultimately, the way you think becomes the way you behave. When a person is not conscious of the mentality that they're procreating or teaching, ultimately, everyone around them will be exactly like them. Because what happens is your mentality allows you to go around people that have a mentality. So ultimately, all you're doing is prolonging and building onto the mentality. And that's what a problem with a lot of people don't understand. We speak without understanding reality, right? So I want to ask someone on my live today, how can we change the mentality? See, if you can change the mentality, you know you can change your results. But the problem is we want to change our results without changing our mentality. You cannot change your results without changing your mentality, because where you've gotten to this point is what possessed the mentality for you to get there. But what happens is if you're not willing to take on a new mentality with challenge, you're going to stay at the same level. You cannot be in ninth grade with an eighth grade mentality. You cannot be in 10th grade with a ninth grade mentality. Every time you move up in life, you have to understand it takes another mentality to get to the next levels. A lot of people want to hear false narratives and things that are not true. But the problem is with telling you things that are not true, one starts believing it. And when a person believes it, they behave the way their mentality has been trained to believe. You got to be conscious with your thinking, because your actions, again, is a reflection of your thinking, right? The mindset is what we must understand, because genetically, a lot of people don't understand that you are your environment. If you don't expose your mind to different things, because they say the mind, once exposed, it will expand. If the mind isn't exposed, the mind won't expand. So therefore, the mind will stay at a certain level. It's the mentality. It's the mindset, right? A winner thinks like a winner, so therefore, they're more prone to win. One thing people must understand is that you can outperform your bad start, right? And a lot of times you see children do better than their parents. And if you see them do better than their parents, chances are they had a better mentality or a mindset. If my mom didn't want to work hard and I changed my mentality with believing that I have to work hard, I think I will surpass my mother's results. You cannot do the same thing as people that are losing are doing and expect to win. It don't make sense. It can't add up, right? It can't add up. But again, we want to change the catalyst of what life is. I'm going to be the exception to the rule. You're not the exception to the rule. The rule is the rule. One who won't work hard won't have great results, especially when starting from scratch, right? But again, we want the material things to make us feel like we're a lot more advanced than we truly are. This is a sick mentality. And a lot of people have indoctrinated their minds into believing this. I can do less, but I'm going to have more. What kind of mentality is that, guys? I can do less, but I'm going to have so much more. When I hear that, it doesn't even resonate with me, because I know it's not. I know it to not be truth. I know the people that want more, they're willing to do more, so therefore they will always have more. I know the ones who do less, who will always have less, because they continue to do less, so they'll never have more. It's a harsh reality. But the problem is when your mind is only believing what it wants to believe, then a lie becomes the truth in your mind. Your mindset can be captivated into believing whatever you want. You can sell your mind the most foolish things in life. But again, it's on you to believe it. Because it's not what you say, it's what you believe that ultimately make you say what you say. Did you hear that? It's not what you say, it's what you believe that make you say what you say. It's the things you believe, therefore you're speaking on what you believe. And therefore, the results are minimal. If I believe in my mind that I can do absolutely nothing and now my life is going to change so dramatic, right? How is that going to happen? Right? How is that going to happen? But again, it's a mentality that we've allowed ourselves to believe. It's a mentality. When I sit back and watch people lose, I've noticed that a loser, right, do loser things but still expect to win. Watch the narrative. We can Google this. They say the average millionaire right now wakes up by 5 a.m. It's not my opinion. Guys, you got to use your sources. Google says this. You want to sleep all day, but you want to be successful. It's a harsh reality. It's never going to happen because you're not special. Let's get that out of our mind, guys. We're not special. You do not jump from the flat foul line. You don't run a 40-40. You don't have a photographic memory. You're not doing anything substantially different that's going to make you stand out. In a room full of people that look like you don't stand out. We all want the great results, but we have to understand that in order to stand out, you have to do more. If I walk in a room and everybody's standing straight up, right? And I see somebody that's literally doing a handstand, who will stand out? The person that's doing a handstand. Because of the fact that that person realizes I can't keep doing what everyone that's losing are doing, therefore I'm never going to win. You cannot win with a loser's mentality. You cannot win doing things that don't make sense. You cannot win behaving like the losers. In life, a loser can teach you how to win if you're willing to do what the opposite of what a loser isn't willing to do. A loser can teach you how to win if you're willing to do what a loser is not willing to do. Sometimes in life, you have to be willing to do things in silence. You can come in a room full of people right now and say, I want to be a millionaire, but when you go outside the room, you do absolutely nothing, ultimately getting no results. Some people don't understand when you're young, you look like your parents. But when you get older, you look like your life's decisions. But if you say that to them, they're going to get upset. Young people have a mentality where they believe that I can do absolutely bare minimum and I'm going to have so much. That's not a reality. Look at statistics. The statistics show that 1.8 to 2% of people become millionaires. That means 100 people, or let's say round it off to 2 people, will become millionaires. 2 people. That means that 98 people out of 100 will not be that successful. Because you want to do what everyone is doing, therefore you think you're going to be something special. Right? I'm not going to follow people that's not focusing on themselves and being their better selves. You're still around people that want to talk about others. A lot of your energy is being spent into the wrong reasons. What have you done today that's helping your mindset? What have you read? Right? Who are you around? Let's look at our circles. We talk about that. Birds of a feather flock together. They say you are the company you keep. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. But the problem is you want to be around the wrong people and say, that's not me. Why are you so comfortable around the people like that? You're losing because of the fact that you're around people who are comfortable losing. You're not winning because you haven't learned how to win. How can one win when one has not been taught how to win? But you believe you're going to win. This is a sick mentality. In society today, right now, we entertain the most foolish things and we want great results. You have to be extremely disciplined to win. You have to be extremely disciplined. You have to be able to work past your tiredness, right? You have to be willing to say, I'm going to sacrifice more than the average person. I'm going to do more when others don't want to do. I'm going to commit myself to being great. I'm going to stop lying to myself. I'm going to do everything possible to make myself stand out. You got to be willing to stand out. Everyone has the same kind of time. We look at time. It's 24 hours in a day. You don't even maximize on your hours. But you believe that you're the exception to the rule. This is a mindset. This is a mentality. The mentality for failures should be a course because that's what they teach in the school system. Let's have this conversation. We wear our titles. We wear our degrees. that don't necessarily mean success. Because you're being taught how to be a worker bee, right? You're being taught how to slave for a plantation, and then you get mad at the results when you have a plantation mentality. In order to be a great person, you have to have the mentality of a person that wants to create the plantation. You cannot be overly and get vested in someone else's plantation. Otherwise, you're gonna continue to get the results of everyone that's on your plantation. But if I say that, I become the problem. When in reality, I'm the solution. Because I'm gonna tell it what it is. I'm not gonna falsify my mind to believe something that's not a reality. It takes a sick mentality for you to believe that something is not coming. You've been sitting there waiting for something to sprout at your garden and you've never planted a seed. Listen to that mentality. You believe something is gonna sprout from your garden and you have never planted a seed. Meaning success. You have to plant the seeds of success, right? You have to nurture the idea, right? You have to stay around people that's actually helping you manifestate it by being consistently working. We had a conversation with one of my guys today, right? He actually gave me a great quote. He said, have you ever heard a tree grow? Have you ever heard a tree grow? And of course, the answer would be no. But yet and still, you see the great results in how massive trees grow. By the time you turn around, look at that tree. That tree grew in silence. While you were running around, that tree was becoming the greatest tree that it could possibly become. So sometimes you have to work in silence. You got to stop thinking just because you speak it verbally, that means it's going to happen in the physical. Manifestation is overly saturated with beliefs. I think there's a line of people waiting in line, waiting for God to, and the line is called manifestation, right? They're all in a line called manifestation, but nobody want to get in the line of hard work. Damn. We're going to call it what it is. You believe you're going to manifestate something so great by doing something so small. I'm not sitting here going to stroke your ego with a lie. You got to be able to be in your reality. You got to be able to tell yourself the truth. You got to have them uncomfortable conversations. You got to go in rooms where you know that you may not feel at that moment. Notice I said this, at that moment, you might not feel worthy to be there. But if you want to stay in that room, ultimately, you're going to feel confident in that room. But it takes you to make yourself uncomfortable to become comfortable. And if you stay comfortable, you'll never become comfortable. It's a harsh reality. See, today we're talking about this mentality. Who's taught this mentality? We have a worker bees mentality, but we think we're going to be a boss. Let's have this conversation today, guys. Someone's going to get mad. And no disrespect, I'm going to just use this as an example. If I start a company, right? And let's just say my company is, let's say a mobile detailing, right? I work for my mobile detailing business, right? What happens is this person starts believing that they're a boss. You're not a boss because you started an LLC and started working for yourself. Right? You're self-employed to your company. But notice you're still employed. When have you ever heard someone say, my boss is employed? When have you ever heard that? A boss is an employer, right? When you're employed by your company, all you're doing is working for your company, but you're still working. Noticing that even though you work 1099 and for yourself, you're still selling the hours to your company. Because when you work, you're looking to still be compensated. We must change our mentalities. The successful look for avenues of investing so they can buy back their time. The broke look for things that's going to take away more of their time. It's two different mentalities. It's two different mentalities. You will never be successful with an employee's mentality. You will never, right? Because no matter how you slice it, right? Every employer has a limit of what they're willing to give you. And a boss don't settle for limits. So when you talk this boss talk, you got to understand what is a boss. What is a boss? We're trying to create a mentality here. You don't have to own a business to be a boss. Let's get that straight, right? A boss is a mentality, a mindset, right? It's how you think, right? But you have to keep this in mind. When we have these conversations, it make a lot of people very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Because a person that's sitting there right now with a business, with an LLC, think that, you know, you got some YouTuber on YouTube right now, like, hey, all you have to do is open up an LLC and the banks will flood money to you. That ain't true. I don't know who created that lie. That's cap. The truth of the matter is, if you open up an LLC and your LLC is not accredited, meaning you haven't shown no returns at all they're gonna do is go off of the guarantor, which is you. They're gonna personally make you guarantee the credit card that they give you. So what happens is, when you get a credit card, if you fail with that credit card for the business, you fail for your personal credit. Yes, you can have a company on your credit card, but it's also still a guarantor. Because we want to skip steps. See, when we watch these YouTube videos and these reels and these shorts, we're looking for the cheat code. I'm gonna tell y'all something over here today. Somebody gonna get mad. There is no cheat code. The only cheat code in life is finding someone that's doing what you want to do and skip the steps that they failed by learning where they went wrong so you don't have to go wrong. That's the only cheat code. But you're gonna still look for a shortcut. I want to jump to success. I just told you 2% of people become millionaires. 2%. And the 2% that become millionaires are the ones that think outside the box. These are the ones that create things that's worth millions of dollars. It is so hard to work for $1 million. It's damn near impossible. I want someone to look on their phone. You on the phone? Google right now, what is the average earning a person makes over a lifetime in America? In a lifetime. What is average? But a person believes they're gonna be millionaires. But I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. I know the numbers. 1.7 million over a lifetime. And what is the age that most people die? About 72? So take that number, 1.7, and divide that by 72. Divide that by 72. That's $23,000 a year, guys. So when you have these conversations, a lot of people don't understand reality because they don't do the numbers. They don't sit down and really evaluate what they say. They normalize things that are very far-fetched to be normal, right? We said 1.7 million divided over 72 years is 23,000. Damn. So that means you got to live off of 23,000. Wow. This is what I'm trying to get at, guys. And you're praying to have a healthy straight run to 72. And then you can hit about 1.7. So let's eliminate, let's say 72, let's put it at 50 straight years. Right? 50 straight years. You want success over 50 years and you won't even sacrifice for 50 months. Yeah, that don't even make sense. This mentality that we have right now is wrong. Someone call in right now. Let's talk about it. 516-253-1150. Someone call in right now. Let's talk about this mindset. What can we do to change the mentality? What can we do to change our mindset? How can we become successful when we're taught how to fail? Someone call in right now, 516-253-1150. See, that's our mentality. That's why we're programmed. A lot of people don't understand they're programmed for failure. But if you say this, you become the reasoning for failure. Because someone is right now sitting here looking for an excuse to why they're failing because they don't see that the failure is because of their poor decisions. It's a mentality. You're going to always fail when you have a bad mindset. No matter how you slice it, you will always fail as long as you have a bad mentality or a mindset. A bad mentality, let me tell you this on record. No matter how you slice it, you cannot outwork a bad habit. You cannot. This is a harsh reality. But we had these conversations up here. We talk about these things because we got to raise the awareness. People aren't successful because of their mentality. Right? Is it a coincidence People say all the time that Jewish people are good with money, right? Would you say it's because they're Jewish or it's because they have a mentality to understand money? They have a mentality to understand money, guys. You're never gonna be if you don't understand. It takes the mentality. It's a mindset to the point where your mindset becomes your belief and your belief becomes your action because that's how you live. You have people who's been on earth. Watch this number. I want you to do these numbers for me, Tyler. Let's just say someone is 35 years old, right? Let's give them from 25 to 35. How many years is that? It's 10 years, right? Do me a favor, 10 divided by 12. 10 times 12. 1,200, right? So that means 10 years is 1,200 months? Watch this now, hold on. Watch this now, I wanna show you something. See, this is a mentality. See, what we do every day is this. It's 120, I knew I was bugging. So look at this real quick, 120 months. Let's just say someone saved from the age of 25 to 35. Let's just say they saved $5,000. Let's say $10,000. Take 120 to 120 months and divide that by 10,000, right? What's my number? Say 10,000 divided by 120. Watch this, guys. I want to show you something. 83 point what? 83.3. That's what you saved every month from the age of 25 to 35. You save $83. But you believe you're going to be able to retire and sit on your behind and do nothing. $83. When you break down money in time, then you start understanding money. You have to look at the money in time, right? Look at the number we just said. I gave you from 25 to 35. And you have people who haven't even saved $80 a month. Not even $80 a month. From the age of 25 to 35. But these are the people who don't understand that most people that are broke are bad with money. Let me tell you something. If you're bad with small amounts of money, you're going to be worse with big amounts of money. So you cannot outwork the bad problem. You have to fix the mentality about the money and how you behave with it. If you're bad with little money, you're going to be worse with big money. They don't understand it. But when you talk like that, they get upset. It's a mentality. Behaving, if you make $30,000, right? And you come to me and say, yo, I saved $5,000 this year. And spend only, I'm talking about after taxes. You went home with $25,000, you spent $25,000 and you save $5K. If you gave that person $1 million, that person will always have money. Will always have money. That person is more disciplined. See, what happens is people say, oh, you can't save money because of this economy. It's because you always eating out. Damn, let's look at the numbers. I want somebody to pull this up right now. How much do Americans spend on food in restaurants every year? We're going to pull up numbers. I'm not going to just keep throwing out things. I'm going to show you the problems of the mentality. Let's say fast food. Fast food in restaurants. We're going to show you guys. $1,200 a year. Individually. Individually is $1,200 a year. So if you got 5 adults in the house, how much is that? 5 times 1,200? About $6K. Damn. Now what you do is this. Go look at your charts in your state, right? Guys, you need to start using this Google thing for the right reasons. Now, yes. 2023 survey says $2,300 a year in eating out. So let's look at this number. Somebody give me a phone. I need to see something real quick. Let me see some numbers. So it's 20, let's just round it off to 2,400. So if you, if you make, let's say 50K. Somebody got a pen and paper? Let me break this down real quick. Got a pen? All right. So you make 50,000, right? Let's start breaking the number. They said the average New Yorker where I live makes 50,000 a year. That is the average. So now After taxes, that $50,000 turns into about $38,000, right? So we're gonna do the numbers. This is what y'all don't understand, right? Now let's just give you an average apartment. Let's say we have 38K. So let's say $1,500. Do 15 times 12. 1,500 times 12. 18,000. Take that from that 30. That brings us to $20,000. We had a queen 20 now, right? Now, the problem with that 20 is y'all don't want to live in your means. Y'all got to go get a fancy car. Y'all got to drive a luxury vehicle. We going 500. That was last economy before this recession and before this inflation. An average, look it up. Look it up right now. We're not going to create no numbers or for perspectives in our opinion. Today is a fact day. Look up the average price for a loan for a luxury vehicle. This is what you do. Guys, Google could be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy because it'll tell you the truth about yourself. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm going to call it what it is. Let me say that one time. Google could be your worst enemy. It could be your best friend because it'll tell you the truth about yourself. But a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to live in their lives. Okay, let's round it up. Let's put it at a minimum of $600. $600. Now we could also check what the insurance is. $7,200 right there, just on your car. It's your payment, right? Take the $20,000. Take that $7,200 off of there. Where we at? We at $12,800. Let's keep going. Did we take off the food yet? Take off the food. No, take off the food first. Take off the food. We're gonna take off the food. We had 12,800, right? Let's keep going. We had 10,400, guys. Mind your car needs insurance. So let's say your insurance, let's make it clean, 300. Let's make it 300. 3 times 12 is what? Take 3,600 off that number. It was at 10,400 before, right? Let's keep going. 10,800. 10,800. Where we at now? 3,600. Mm-hmm. That's putting your insurance at $300 a month, guys. Right? And let's keep going. Let's keep going. We had 10,800 minus $3,600, guys. 7,200 is what we down to. You like vacations. You like a Mary's. You like Louis Vuitton. You like Gucci, right? You like all of these things. Oh, we can look that up next. We can look that up next too. We could look up, let's see how much the average American spends in retail a year. Right? So what I'm trying to explain to y'all is this. It's not about the money you make. It's how you behave with the money. The average American spends $1,400 a year in retail. That's average. That's average, right? Which is good. It depends on the person's materialism, right? So just put that 1,400. Let's put the 1,400. We have 5,800. Someone just wrote on the live, don't forget gas. Why you had to do that? Why you had to talk about the gas? Let's put $400 a month on gas. Let's put $400 a month on gas. $4,800. Take that off your number. $7,200. We're going to keep going, guys. I'm going to show you why people lose. We down to $2,400. Now you got to, let's throw a baby in the equation. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't even afford it. Can't even afford it. Right? See, what I'm getting at is this is why they push you to do this. Your materialism pushes you to need these. I'm going to ask you guys, I want you guys to say this out loud with me. What is this? Say it loud. I want them to hear it. It's a credit card, right? So what they do with this is they make you need them for that, ultimately debting you And now you're working for the system that they've created, right? It's the mentality that's keeping you broke. It's not the money. It's the mentality. When a person can't live within their means, they'll live beyond their means when they're in insecurities, keep constantly paying into their insecurities. A person don't have to wear luxury things to make me feel like they're rich. A person don't have to drive a luxury vehicle for me to know they make money. But the problem is you want to live beyond your means. In order to change your position, and you have to change your mentality. You're not rich because you look like you dress nice. I know people, they're so fly, and they go to Old Navy, and you wouldn't even know. I know people that buy, like I'm the king of blink tees. If y'all ever look at my story, I wear a lot of blink tees. I'm the type of guy, one time I went out with my boy to go shopping, he bought like 2 shirts for like $500. Like $500 for 2 shirts. I went into H&M, no cap. I bought like $100 worth of shirts, and I came out of there like, it was like $10.99 a shirt, right? It was like $10.99 a shirt. And I'm looking at him like, bro, I'm gonna get the same attention as if I had on a luxury brand. Why is that? The sad part is so many mentalities need the luxury to make them feel like they're accomplished. Meanwhile, I'm self-confident. Let's get this right. Women like confident men, right? So no matter what I have on, I'm confident enough to walk into any room comfortably being myself. I don't come as who you want me to be. I come as who I am. And when a person don't receive me as who I am, then they're not for me. The problem is when you want to be someone you're not to accommodate people because you're worried about how people are going to view you, then you haven't learned to love yourself because you have systematically been oppressed. That's what systematic oppression is. Teaching you the lack of understanding economics ultimately keep you in bad positions. So again, I say this. It's not the money you make. It's the mentality that you have with the money you make. Let me say that one more time. I think somebody didn't hear that. It's not the money you make. It's the mentality you have for the money that you make. Question in this. If I make 50 a year and I live like I make 30 a year, am I in the plus or the negative every year? I'm in the plus. And the reason why I'm in a plus is because I'm living under my means. But if I make 50, right, and I'm spending 50 a year, and my credit cards is maxed out every year, I am doing something called playing from behind. And that's the constant problem. You're going to constantly be playing from behind because it's a mentality that we must change in order to get better results. You'll never get better results if you don't change your mentality. You want more, but you're not willing to do more. You have to elevate your mentality so therefore you can go into another economical space. Look at this narrative. A lot of people don't want to hear this. Your social climate determines your economical climate, and your climate will never change if you don't change your economical climate will change if you don't change your social climate. Let me say this again. Your social climate determines your economical climate. But if you don't change your social climate, you'll never change your economical climate. You have to be around people who live within their means. I'm gonna tell you something. A person that saves $1 a day will be better than someone that saves nothing. And the person on my live right now, I'm gonna say it's just $1. It's $1 that you didn't save. It's $1 you didn't save. It takes a mentality to be successful. Broke people sit around and look for things to spend money on. Rich people sit around and look for things to invest money in. Looking for a return. See, the difference between assets and liabilities is a broke mind is a liability mentality. A rich mind is an asset mentality. In order to become a rich mind, you must treat your mind and teach it assets. You must think where your money's going. You gotta stop wasting it. We have become the AC that's on in the house with all the windows open with our money. That's how we become. Let me say that again. We have become the AC with all the windows open and the money's going right out the window. And the house never gets cooled down. And you wonder why. It's because you don't see that you're not cooling down the house because you need to close the windows. Close your spending. Close your pockets. Stop worrying about the picture I have to take for the gram. I'm going to tell you something. Your pictures on social media don't make nobody think you got money besides a broke person. Because if you notice, some of the richest people behave the most quietest. The loudest people economically is usually the what? The brokest people. You need the attention because you don't feel secure with who you really are. So you're pretending to be someone you're not because of the fact that you want people to receive you that way. It's insecurity. You have to be able to say, you know what? I can go to Subway and I can buy a sandwich, spending $7, $8 for a sandwich plus a drink, so about $12. Or I can go to the supermarket, get $6 worth of deli meat, get $3 worth of bread. Where you at? 6, 7, 8. Small mayonnaise. And I can eat for 3 days, 4 days. See, the problem is you're not willing to do that. No one said you have to eat expensive. Someone said you just need to eat. The problem is you want champagne with beer pockets. That's the problem. You're not cheap because you live in your means. Let's get this straight, right? Because the broke person will remain broke if they keep living like they have money. The broke person who lives like they don't have money, saving money, eventually won't be the broke person. It's really that simple. We laugh at that because it's that simple. It's really that simple. They say common sense has become the biggest superpower. Most people have no common sense. Watch this live. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. I want y'all to answer this with me. If I keep spending all my money, I'm gonna be what? I want somebody to answer this on my live. If I keep wasting all my money, I'm gonna be what? I want somebody on my live to say this. If I keep wasting all my money, I'm gonna be what? Broke, 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 left behind. Stay with me now. Watch this. You see how common sense that is? But people keep spending their money expecting not to be what? Broke. Damn. Damn. That's crazy. It's that simple. Let me get into these details and let y'all know something. Look, someone said never thought of that. You funny for that. Let me give you one of these. See, guys, what we have to understand is we must break the mentality that we were trained. See, here's the concept. You have retailers. You have consumers. What is a retailer without a consumer? Nothing. A retailer only makes money if the consumer is willing to buy from the retailer, right? So what happens is the retailer makes you believe that you need material things to keep yourself feeling like you're somewhere you're not. So therefore, the retailer creates programming, videos, commercials that make you feel like you're nothing without it. Watch this. Valentine's Day is coming up. Every time you hear this, every kiss begins with, I'm gonna see if y'all finish it for me. What every kiss begins with is a commercial. I'm gonna show you programming right now. Every kiss begins with, let me see if somebody gonna say this on my live. It's coming. K. Every kiss begins with K. It's to the point where people believe the jingles, they're created to program your mind for memorization. And as the mind remembers it, it becomes locked into it. It's my money and I want it. Let's see if somebody say it. I want to see somebody in my life say it. It's my money and I want it. I'm waiting. Now, there you go. Come on. It's programming. Listen, the world will be the world, but you have to learn how to behave in the world if you want to get to the results that you want, that most people in the world will never get to. It takes a mentality to be successful. When you sit down every day and you listen to all of these foolish things, I can go on my TikTok now and see 30,000 people twerking. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how crazy it is when I go look at some of the likes and the views of people doing the most foolish crap, and I'm like, why do y'all like this stuff? Damn. And you wonder why the world is so far behind. Y'all mentally being programmed to be slow. Y'all becoming slow. Look at it right now. Look up the statistic. How many people, what is the percentage of people who read books after they graduate high school? I just want y'all to see these things. This is all programming, right? They say things like, yo, you know, I want to be great. I want to win. I want to be successful. How you going to be successful when you don't even behave successful? How? You've been programmed to behave broke, but you believe you're going to be rich. I'm like, they've closed this store for many years. I think it's been closed for a while. But I bet you when I ask you, I want y'all to finish this. I don't want to grow up. I'm a what kind of kid? See if somebody in my life know it. It's brought it back recently. It said, no, he said cookies. I don't want to grow up. There you go. I'm a Toys R Us kid. This is programming to the point where a child's mind believes that they need to go to what? Toys R Us. I'm going to tell you something. There's a saying, right? And a lot of people don't really understand the power of this word. I want everybody that's on my live that's rocking with me to say this right now. It's called FOMO. FOMO. I want everybody who rocking with me on my live and on my TikTok and that's watching this video right now to write FOMO. 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 If you rocking with me right now, write that. Right now, my guys in the studio, let's say it. FOMO. 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 I'm going to tell you what that means, guys. FOMO means F is for fear. O, of. M, missing. O is for out. It's the fear of missing out. They realize that by programming you to believe that if you're not doing something, you're missing out. So what happens is the mind believes that it needs to do more to keep funding the retailers' money, right? So therefore, they teaching the consumers that you're missing out if you're not doing this. You're missing out if you're not traveling. A lot of people are traveling on credit card debt. A lot of people are coming back home and don't know where the hell they're going to live when they get back. But you still sitting here believing that they're living so great. It's cap. It's not true. It's called the fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. We have to, sometimes, guys, we have to realize that your social media is an algorithm. And this algorithm displays what it thinks your interests or what piques your interests. And this is how these social media platforms work. If they can't keep you on them, they won't make money. So in order to keep you on it, they got to keep feeding you what they think you want to see based on your clickage, your watchage, and anything you like, they have to. And also the people you follow. So they keep force feeding your algorithm everything that you want to see or they think you want to see. So what I'm suggesting today is we change our algorithms. Let's say we're going to stop watching all these rappers and their foolish mentalities. We're going to stop wasting our money on all of these things. Let's start cooking more. Let's watch a video that we can cook. I make a suggestion today. Won't somebody meal prep? If you understand meal prepping, you'll see how much money you'll save. You'll save so much money by meal prepping, right? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. But we want what we want when we want what we want, right? Because it's my money and I want it now. It's my money and I want it now. You know what you need to say? It's my life and I'm taking it back now. Somebody in my live write that right now. It's my life and I'm taking it back now. I want somebody to write that on my live. It's my life and I'm taking it back now. We gotta stop allowing them programming to teach us what we want them to, they want us to learn. We're regurgitating false information. We're living falsely thinking that we're gonna win doing falsified things. The harsh reality is in order for one to be successful, one has to have a mentality of a successful mentality. You will never be successful with an unsuccessful mentality. It's impossible. It's not designed like that. But yet and still we believe that we're gonna keep fueling the fire. Right? How we fuel the fire? We keep buying the depreciating liabilities. Notice I said depreciating. I gotta ask somebody on this live right now. Answer this question, being honest. Would you buy an item that loses value? I'm asking somebody right now in my live. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Empowered Dynasty, same as my shirt, Empowered Dynasty. Real quick. Would you buy an item that loses value? Right? See, you knew where I was going with it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. You're smart. Very intelligent. Right? Would you buy an item that loses value? Would you? Would you, Kenzie? Would you? Would you? One of the number one ways to lose your wealth or riches is by buying cars. Right? A car is for transportation to get you from point A to point B. Most people don't realize when you take on a car loan, you have multiple payments. You have the note, you have the insurance, you have the gas, and lastly, you have the maintenance. So many people spend so much money on vehicles, they don't even realize that their wealth is going out the window. In order to create wealth, we have to behave like the wealthy, right? I'm gonna ask you a question. I want somebody to Google this real quick. In 1970, what was the percentage of wealthy people in America? In 1970, what was the percentage? We buy these cars. A car is the number one way to lose your wealth. And things they don't buy, they don't give you no value. Right? We got to look into the things that matter and start purchasing. You know what I find the most hilarious? Is we will find money to waste, but we will not find money to invest. Let me say that one more time. I find it hilarious that we will find money to waste, but we won't find money to invest. Right? If I told somebody right now, investment opportunity coming up, they ain't gonna do it. But if I tell them, yo, we going to DR in 3 months, we outside, they with it. Some people say, oh, I like to travel because I like new experiences. How about this new experience? How about you experience success for the first time in reality opposed to your false reality? How about that? That is the best feeling, right? We say we want success, but you know, you'd rather fake it till you make it, right? Or pretend as if you've done it. But then when you die, your children have nothing to show for you besides pictures. That's all they have, pictures. Here lies the most unsuccessful person who was selfish, who never wanted to give anything to others other than themselves. One of the number one ways that's proven to be successful is investing for the long term, thinking a long-term trajectory. Everybody on my live today, if you don't know anything about money, and I'm not a money expert, but I understand money, right? And I'm not teaching finances. Look up something called compound interest. See how it works. Compound interest is one of the most surefire ways of actually getting rich. But they won't teach you that. I'm gonna give you a quick summary of compound interest. Let's say I have $100,000. I make 10% a year on my $100,000. 10% of $100,000 is $10,000. So watch this. I want y'all to pull out your calculator. Let's settle some numbers real quick. I want to do 10 years. Someone do a 10,000, 100,000, right? Add 10% on that. You know how to do that, right? You know how to do it, Tyler? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show you how compound interest work. All right. I wish I had my board today so I could show you guys even better. Ready? It's 10,000. Now add 10% on 110,000. That's year one. No, no. The 110,000, add 10% on that. I want to show y'all something. Compound interest is the best way to get rich. But they tell y'all there's a microwave way to success. This is how you program minds. 121,000 is your year two. Do year three. So year two, you start off at 100, year one. It made you 110,000. Year two made you 121,000. Were you at year three? $133,000 plus. Now give me year five. We're just gonna do 5 years out. Where you at? Mhm. Now I'm just showing you guys. This is how you become wealthy. But they'll tell you there's a cheat code to success. The worst thing that someone can do is waste their time trying to make something out of nothing, spending all their time on that. 161.51. 5 years. So you made over 60 something thousand over 5 years by allowing your money to compound. See, we want to take small money and we want to make it make big money. But in reality, that's not how life operates. I tell everyone on my live today, if you want to change your life, you have to change your mentality. If you don't change your mentality, you'll never change your life. We sit back and we wait for the greater things to come, but the greater things will never come because you've never done the greater things. You've never done the greater things. You want to win a chip, but your team haven't even made it to the playoffs. How does that even make sense? Right? And what I'm learning right now is you should be building a team. See, the problem is we won't build a team. You could be alone. You're like, you know what? I don't make enough. I don't have enough, but you could build a team. Right? Go get a couple people. Let's work together. Let's change our positioning by changing our mentality. You'll never change your position if you don't change your mentality. And this is a harsh, harsh reality. But again, we're going to sit back and wait for the greater things to come. I know some people right now, they're 50 years old, still waiting for something that never came. I talked to a lady the other day. She's waiting for this Romeo to sweep in and sweep off her feet. The perfect man. Right? I feel bad. Because when you sit down and understand that you cannot keep wasting your time expecting something to come from nothing. Because the last time I did my mathematical equation, I may be wrong about this. Let me see. Am I wrong? Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. Is that right? So I'm asking you guys on my live. Nothing plus nothing equals what? Okay, let me make sure my math. Mathematically, I might be fooled because some people believe nothing plus nothing equals something. So nothing plus nothing equals nothing. But yet and still, a lot of people believe I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to invest nothing, but I'm going to still get something. You have to scratch your head the way people think sometimes. Somebody call in right now before we get out of here today. 516-253-1150. Someone call in and talk about this topic. 516 516-253-1150. Call him right now before we get out of here. 516-253-1150. See, we believe that we're going to change the mathematical equation. We're going to get something from doing nothing because you're special. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hey, you talk some real stuff. I had to call.
I appreciate you.
I never thought. I would have never thought. What you say is so real, and I listen. I got this Tim U, and I'm thinking because I'm spending less, that I'm getting by. Oof. Deep.
You know what it is?
Doing what you do, I will definitely subscribe to you.
I appreciate you so much, my sister. Thank you so much. Guys, when you understand that this is what I do this for us. You know, I love my culture. I love my people. And when I say culture, I'm talking black, white, blue, green. I'm not talking about no damn just only blacks. Because when God made me and I became a Christian, I decided to love all his children, even the ones that's misguided and misinformed, right? A lot of us are misinformed, right? We've learned a false narrative of reality. We become delusional. A lot of us walking into the dark, but believing that we're going to see everything with our eyes closed. Somebody on my live today need to open their eyes so they can see the harsh realities about life. You will never get nothing from doing nothing, and as long as you keep doing nothing, you're not going to get nothing. You got to make greater sacrifices. You got to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. You got to commit yourself. You got to dedicate yourself, right? Let's look at it like this. Treat yourself like a person that just came to this country. Undigest all the falsified information that you've learned. Live within your means. Get rid of the materialism, right? Because you're worried about people seeing you more than people are worried about seeing you. You want acceptance from people that don't give a damn about you. Because if they gave a damn about you, they'd be telling you that you should be doing better. But they ain't trying to help you. You worry about a person that won't pay a bill for you. Let's change this narrative, guys. We have to understand in order to change our lives, we must change our mentalities. But if we don't change our mentalities, we'll never change our lives. Someone need to understand that right now is the time that you need to start working on yourself. Stop looking in everyone else's windows with this social media and start looking in the mirror. Have the greater conversations with oneself. I love myself. I'm going to do what I need to do so I can change my life for the better. And today starts the better. Stop waiting for tomorrow for the things you should be doing today. If you keep pushing things over for tomorrow, tomorrow will never happen because you missed the day by not doing anything today. Right now, in this minute, this second, let's make it happen. Till next time, guys, don't let that go over your head.